Well, then that's what we'll do. We will call the October 20th meeting to order for the Board of Parks and Recreation. Our first order of business will be any public input. I know I saw a letter from a gentleman who was interested in putting together a cricket operation or a cricket field, but I don't know if he's on the call here today or if he wants to talk to us in the future.
Mr. President, he's not. I did correspond with him today. I'm going to meet with him tomorrow. I think you'll see something from him in the future. He did send a short video to me that I'll email to you guys just so you get a chance of what he's asking for. But they're searching for a cricket field at West Lakes Park. So that's something I'll meet with him and see if it's something we're able to work out here in the future.
No, we should make West Lakes AstroTurf because between soccer fields and that should be interesting.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Public input? Seeing none, we'll move on to the administrative matters, which is the approval of the minutes of our last meeting. That was almost record time.
I move we approve the minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
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 And those opposed, Mr. Sowers cannot oppose. So we're going to move on. We're going to go to the confirmation of the vouchers. We have two sets of them, one for $41,000 and some change and one for $34,000 and some change. Any questions or comments?
None here.
None
I
here.
have none.
I move we approve the vouchers.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the vouchers. Any further discussion? Since we're on Zoom, I don't see anything. So all those in favor say aye.
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 And opposed, ayes have it. We will move to the Parks and Recreation Department report for the month of October, or the meeting in October.
Mr. President, you have one in your packet there. We're just going to highlight a few things off of that. Just want to give you a little bit of a summary there. We are working on updating the community park concessions agreement and the Centennial Park operations agreement with Billy Casper Golf, which their company is going to be soon be known as Antares. We're looking for a 5-year extension of both of those agreements. 2 of the 3 slides, actually this is as of today. Now, one of the 3 slides at Circle Park are still shut down. We're waiting. They're shipping out a new slide. It never did go together correctly, so they're shipping the whole new slide. Once we have it, that'll be corrected. We currently have that in case you guys are reached out to. That one of them does have boards at the top. It's not super dangerous, but if there was a loose string or something like that, that's the worry that it could get caught and choke somebody as they're sliding down. So we want to make sure that that's being as safe as we can for us. Did work with Munster Babe Ruth. Michael Cadavar, the president's on the call today, but you'll have that later on your agenda today about a memorandum of understanding in regards to their use of community park. In response to a number of inquiries, we've drafted a trail courtesy sign that we're working on to put up along our trails in town. That's also been reviewed by the town of Sherrville to consider for them to put on their Pennsy Trail, their portion of the Pennsy Trail as well. Each town will be stylized for their particular town that way. So also just looking into options as far as a pay to park option out at Centennial Park. We'll have future discussions there. In regards to that, I am suggesting that we consider maybe creating a subcommittee of the park board to do a lot more research and understanding of that. And if that's something that you'd like me to create, I can pull that together and coordinate that type of meeting. I would suggest that we do that along with representatives from Wendy's office, the police department, code enforcement, our parks office, Billy Casper Golf, and I would recommend 2 of the park board members and even 2 of the town council members, because I believe that this will be a big issue when and if a decision were ever made to go in that direction. On the recreation side, the ladies empowerment walks continue to work out really well. We are still awaiting, we were talking previous to the meeting starting about from Munster High School in regards to the use of the schools for activities, especially our holiday arts and crafts show. Home Run Derby was really a success. Almost 90 people there participated in that program. The continuing education program, recently we've had 5 people sign up for those. That's kind of a little bit of a spurt, so we like to see that that's happening there. For the online program, plus we had 6 students register for the EKG program. Small group trips are filling. The park rentals were definitely down this year overall. Between Heritage Park, our shelter rentals, social center, we're down about 47% compared to last year. And then on the maintenance side of things, some cottonwoods, volunteer cottonwoods out at Community Park around the retention pond were being cut back. The backboards that were at Grove Park have been reinstalled. We had to purchase new ones and reinstall those out there. That was done a couple of weeks ago. Winterization has been done at the pool. The new display cases out at Centennial Park at the shelters have been erected out there, so we'll have a better place to post permits when someone does have an official permit out there for the use of those. Centennial Park on the maintenance side, 2 temperature sensors in the banquet room are replaced. Walk-in freezer quit working there, so they're getting by right now without it. We have to find a vendor that can work with us to consider repairing that if we choose to go that route. Banquets are definitely down from last year's levels. Together, right, we're probably at about 53% of what we did last year at this point. Golfing is through the roof this year, probably by far the best ever numbers that we've had out there with over 21,000 rounds. Last year they had 19,000, almost 900. So, and we still have the rest of this year to continue. So, revenues on golf are about $75,000 to the good compared to last year. Unfortunately, we are heavily reliant upon our banquets, which are down. So between food, drink, and room fee rentals, we're down about 33% out there. This is something that we probably need to look at the view more in the future as far as what other opportunities we have there to make money, especially on those food, drink, and room fees. So that may be something we start to look at in a serious matter to maybe refurbish that and just do away with the view is what it originally was kind of designed for as that restaurant, and just kind of on the nice weather days allow them to go outside onto the deck and serve food and drink, but really concentrate in trying to bring rentals into that space. If we just look at that as the room itself and create it into another rental type of facility for us to use out there in a longer term solution for us out there. But with that, that's pretty much everything we have on the department report.
Mark, I have a question in regards to Billy Casper. Are they we're gonna have a whole new crew, or are they gonna keep the same
No, everything,
employees? Or
when we first approached this, their plan is kind of just keep everything as is. And that was, I think I mentioned before that their current agreement, the original agreement, is set to expire at the end of March this coming year. So we needed to do 90 days before that to decide whether we extend or not. So we had initial conversations. They're happy with how things are going. We're happy with how things are going. There's some small changes that I did ask them that if we ever get to the point where they actually were creating revenue above and beyond what it costs, that we make sure that we share that. I asked them to clarify the way that that's worded. It is in there right now that comes to the town 100%. But I just want to make sure that that's worded. So I have asked them to update that. I did in the meantime run those agreements by both Wendy as a clerk treasurer and Dustin as a town manager to make sure that if they had any other input on items to update in the new agreement. But everybody has seemed pretty happy with what we currently have. They do, I will say, I do think somewhere down the road, they do plan on maybe bringing a general manager back, but I think that would be after we're kind of out of the COVID times though. Right now, Andrew is kind of there a few days a week and handling things from his perspective.
thank you.
How much did the winning fish weigh?
Oh, did we get a winning fish weight?
You have to wait for that report. Dave.
Yes, yeah.
There's a
It didn't
report
say,
there.
it didn't say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Jill come up and respond to that for you.
Jeez.
Was it a
I'll
bluegill?
trunk or treat first, if that's okay. All right.
Yeah.
Dave, can she go to trunk or treat first?
Jill,
That's okay, yeah.
Jill,
All right, great.
Yeah, go ahead with the trunk
I
and
got all the
treat.
facts on that.
Okay, we had about 30 vendors for trunk or treat, including 2 food vendors. So we had popcorn and hot dogs and nachos there. I was envisioning that we would have probably a couple hundred people for our trunk or treat, and we had well over probably 1,200. It was a 3-hour event. For the first 90 minutes, we strictly did drive-through, where I was told from people driving in that we had a line down Ridge Road all the way down to Wicker Park. The last 90 minutes was strictly walk through, and if I could have taken a drone picture of the amount of people, there was no social distancing. However, everyone was wearing masks, so that was positive. We had a ton of different costume contests going on and a lot of in-kind donations from local businesses, so that was really great. I included an article from the Times that they did, as well as some Facebook comments from people who participated in the event, just so you guys can see that. Obviously, it's not a huge moneymaker, but it was a great thing for the public.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Good job.
I drove by.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
There was a lot of people on Ridge Road, I can tell you that.
yeah, it was crazy. I was out there directing traffic.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a
Oh,
great
great
thing.
job.
Did any other town do anything, remotely similar?
I believe Dyer just recently had a Halloween event. I don't know to the extent of kind of what they've done. I know that they had vendors and food vendors. I don't know entertainment-wise what they had or what their turnout was.
Yeah.
We really had great weather too, which coincided with ours too, so.
Yeah, it was 50
That
degrees and
helps.
sunny that day, so perfect.
Right.
Well, do we plan to do it again next year? I mean, make it an annual event that once hopefully COVID goes away?
Yes, so our thought process is to bring back our Pumpkins Witches Hayride, which we were not able to do this year because of the bounce houses and games and stuff. So it's our thought to do that the first weekend in October and to possibly do the trunk or treat in conjunction with our Beaker Woods Night Walk. Because Girl Scouts did partner with us on this event. So that kind of brings another whole group of people out to their Beaker Woods event as well.
Good.
Good.
All right, the fishing derby, if you guys are ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Dave's ready. Dave's been circled this on his
I want to
calendar.
know if the ones I catch in Wisconsin are bigger or smaller than what we got here at home.
Well, I will say there was not any measurable fish. All of the fish that these kids were catching were literally like this or like this.
That's called bait.
Yeah, it caught in the amount of totals and stuff. The winning kid caught 20 fish.
Oh, wow.
He also happens to be my son, so there was no
Oh,
going on. We were all very truthful in it.
We have to declare conflict of interest here, attorneys.
20 times the same fish she forgot to tell you.
It was not. 3 hours.
Kept pulling out of the water.
She stocked it right where they were fishing at.
Well, was it catch and release though, or they didn't keep them, did they?
Catch and release.
Catch and release, all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
So overall, we had about 72 participants between the ages of 6 and 18. Everything went really well. Skylar had a lot of volunteers that helped them with the event that were stationed all throughout the lake. I know a lot of kids actually ended up leaving probably about halfway through just because they were not catching anything whatsoever. I was going to talk to Kevin to see what the thought process would be on stocking it. I believe we have not stocked that lake in quite a while. Yeah, since Rod. So that's a thought for 2021 for that event there. And I forgot what else was it.
I've got plenty of fish in the river we could bring over there.
That would be perfect.
Oh, I don't know about
Like
that.
Asian carp? You got some Asian
Yeah.
carp over there?
Well, okay, that's a fun fish.
Overall, the event went really well. Skylar received a lot of compliments about the event, so we will definitely be bringing it back again in the fall next year.
That's good.
Thanks. Good.
Well, stuff like that is nice to get people out, during what's going on. So those kind of events are really important.
Always good.
Yep.
So let's see. Next item is the MOU between us and Munster Babe Ruth.
Mr. President, I put this together. The intention was to do this, or is to do this, with all of those major park users, our local athletic leagues typically. And Babe Ruth and I had been talking with Michael about this when I first met him, and we probably knocked this out in a couple of days, back and forth, a few drafts, and really just wanted to kind of put pen to paper as far as, hey, what has happened? Who's responsible for what? Being the new guy here, he had the veteran time there that he was able to answer a lot of those types of questions for me, as well as between some of the staff here, between Jill and Kevin. So we were able to kind of put this into a document that, again, just to memorialize it to a certain degree, so we know in the future, hey, who's responsible for what, as people in both his position and my position change over, so there's no questions or qualms about who's taking care of various different things there. Michael is on the call. If you want, I can have him unmute and speak to it if you'd like, or we bring this to you today for your consideration of approving this.
I have to say, because Jill didn't declare her conflict of interest earlier, but when her son won the fishing derby, I have to say that I'm officially on the Munster Babe Ruth board. So just so that everyone fully understands that. And
Well, is this something that just has been reduced to writing, that's been sort of an understanding between the two parties?
Yes, this is that's the intent behind this. Just so
Okay.
we're fortunate that Kevin has the years behind him out there. But I mean, you guys know, in the last couple of years here, look at the change that we've had with directors and the superintendents. And fortunately,
Right.
with Bill and Kevin both, having veteran years here, that's helped out a lot. But if all of those would have changed out to brand new people, we would have been really set backwards there. And I think this just helps, and I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon unless you guys tell me differently. But if Mike does decide to step back and someone else steps into that role, I think this kind of gives those folks and that board, and these boards change every so often, it really allows them to kind of just have something to go off and to say, no, this is on your guys' dime, and no, okay, we'll take care of that on our dime. Just kind of defining those things between the two organizations.
At first I thought this was a typo, number 13, because it says the 2027 season. And I know that it's not now that I read the second page, but refresh my memory as to that, because I can't, as I'm sitting here, I can't really remember like 10 years.
So in 2016, when Community Park was developed, from my understanding, the concessions area over by the Babe Ruth field was not there. And that was something that we, the park board or parks department, participated to a tune of 50% of the construction of that. So Munster Babe Ruth put that cost out there to the tune of $30,000+. I think it was $32,500 or something there. And because of that, that was kind of that was one of those handshake agreements, from my understanding, of, hey, with knowing that we're putting this in, and we know that in the end, we're not going to be the ones, when we walk away from Munster Babe Ruth, the building's going to be there and so forth. The thought was to waive those fees for them for a period of 10 years. Realistically, you're looking at probably, and Dan would know better than me, 30, 40, 50 kids a year at the fee that they're paying. I think in the end, we still, as a town, still work out. If we charge them that user fee for all these years, we still are money ahead as the town overall, based upon their goodwill towards finishing that area for us within Community Park.
And just to go one step further, just so you understand, Dave, that my understanding is they ran out of money as they got to Babe Ruth, after they got done with the glorious softball fields, and then they got to Little League, and then they got to Babe Ruth. And so because we, the park board, didn't have the money to put 100% into a concession stand, that was the agreement, is that we would put up half of it because that's what we, the park board, had, and then Babe Ruth would just get reimbursed over time.
Okay. Is there a plan on another issue? Is there a plan to have similar agreements with Little League and softball?
Yeah, this was kind of, not, I guess I'll call this the guinea pig, if you will, for us, but it was probably maybe the easier one to run through with that. As I'm meeting with, I would say, my goal would is to get this done or something similar with softball, baseball, Little League, soccer, Midwest Wings, Munster lacrosse, and any of those bigger park users that we have in our park system.
Okay. That's all I had. Thanks.
Sure.
So we're just looking for a motion to approve, and then that's it, right?
And if you can make in that motion, if you want to direct me to sign it on your behalf, that's fine. I can do that. Or Dan, it can be one of the many things you got to sign. So.
I move we approve the agreement with Munster Babe Ruth and authorize our director, Mark, to sign it on behalf of the,
Second.
what are we, the park board?
Yeah, whatever board you're serving on currently.
Okay,
Motion's been made and seconded. There is no further discussion. If there is, speak, and if not, all those in favor say aye.
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 No opposed. Motion's passed. Quick question on another matter. I thought when Greg had left, there was a maintainer position open. Did we ever fill that, or is that being advertised to help out my friend here, Kevin, out in the field?
We do not have anything currently advertised. That is one that I am looking into to get a firmer understanding where we're at with that.
Roger. Just making sure that I know it's budget season, or heck, Wendy, it's past budget season.
Past
Hopefully
it.
that's still in the budget, and we're maintaining that position and we didn't lose it. So that's all.
Okay.
Sorry. See no other business. Anyone else have anything?
I
For the good of the
move,
world?
we adjourn.
Before
Second.
you adjourn, let me just throw one in there before you adjourn. On the agenda, we said that next month's meeting it's at noon on election day.
Yeah.
It is going to be an exclusively Zoom meeting because where we're sitting right now in the main meeting room will be an election site. So I just wanted to make sure and point that out to you. We'll post it appropriately that way. The governor's still is still allowing for that, so we can do it that way. I just wanted to make sure and point that out to all of you.
Okay.
All right.
Is there a good time to vote at town hall? When are the crowds or the lines the shortest?
I went on Saturday. It was dead.
Oh, really? Maybe most people didn't know that.
Your Saturday might be the best times. Otherwise, there's typically at least a half an hour wait every day.
Every time I drive by there, I can't believe the cars in that lot and they're outside. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Moved and adjourned, seconded, all in favor, aye. Thank you,
Aye.
everybody.
Aye. Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Okay. Take care, guys.
Be safe.